Commander Zeftal of the Hegemony watched the human vessel drift silently through the debris field, its hull scarred but intact. Around it floated the twisted remains of 12 Karthek destroyers, ships that had terrorized 3 sectors for the better part of a decade. The humans had destroyed them all in under 6 minutes. "Impossible," whispered Navigation Officer Veltari, her 4 eyes wide with disbelief. "The Karthek are apex predators. They've been waging war since before my species discovered fire." Zeftal said nothing. He had lived through 4 galactic cycles, commanded fleets that had conquered star systems and witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations. Nothing had prepared him for what he had just observed. The humans called it the UES Determination, a modest name for a ship that had just rewritten the tactical manuals of every military academy in known space. It wasn't the largest vessel in the human fleet, nor the most heavily armed. By hegemony standards, it was almost quaint. Yet it had just accomplished what 3 combined battle groups couldn't manage in 6 months of sustained warfare. "Open a channel," Zeftal ordered. The view screen flickered to life, revealing the human captain. She was young by their standards, perhaps 40 cycles, with graying hair and tired eyes that held depths of experience that seemed impossible for her age. Captain Sarah Chen had introduced herself 3 days ago, when the humans first arrived in the Altair system, offering assistance against the Karthek raiders. The Hegemony Council had been skeptical. Humans were newcomers to the galactic stage, having achieved faster-than-light travel only 2 centuries ago. They were traders, explorers, diplomats, not warriors. Their ships were built for long journeys and scientific research, not combat. When they offered to help against the Karthek, most species had politely declined, not wanting to be responsible for the massacre that would surely follow. Captain Chen had waited patiently for 3 days while the council debated. Then the Karthek had struck the civilian colony on Altair Prime. "Captain Chen," Zeftal began, struggling to find words. "Your tactics, they were unlike anything we've encountered." The human smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "We didn't choose to be good at this, Commander. War chose us." She was right, Zeftal realized. The human homeworld was a statistical anomaly, a planet that had produced not 1 but dozens of apex predator species. Most worlds capable of supporting intelligent life were relatively peaceful environments, where cooperation and intellect were the primary survival traits. Earth was different. It was a world of constant competition, where survival meant becoming either the hunter or the hunted. "You studied our historical databases," Zeftal observed. "Every engagement, every tactical innovation, every strategic doctrine developed by your species and 47 others over the past 3 millennia, Chen confirmed. "We learned from all of you. Then we adapted those lessons through the lens of our own experience. That experience was written in blood across their homeworld's history. Humans had fought wars continuously for over 5,000 years. They had perfected the art of killing their own kind with such efficiency that by the time they reached the stars, warfare was encoded in their very DNA. Not the desire for it. Captain Chen's exhaustion made it clear that humans took no joy in battle, but the terrible, inevitable mastery of it. The Karthek vessel configuration," Chen continued, "was designed to exploit the hunting patterns of pack predators from the Veltar homeworld. Your species' military doctrine was based on the concept of overwhelming force: surround, isolate, destroy. It worked against other civilizations because most species think like prey animals when threatened." "And humans?" Zeftal asked, though he suspected he knew the answer. "Humans think like predators. Always. Even when we're the ones being hunted." Chen's expression darkened. "The Karthek made the mistake of attacking civilians. That triggered something in us that your databases couldn't have warned them about." Zeftal had read the reports from Altair Prime. The Karthek had bombarded a farming settlement, killing 3,000 colonists, mostly families with children. It was a standard terror tactic, designed to demoralize and force surrender. Against most species, it worked. Against humans, it had been a declaration of war. "We never asked for this capability," Chen said quietly. "We didn't want to be the species that could look at a ship formation and immediately calculate 17 different ways to destroy it. We didn't want to be the ones who could turn a debris field into a tactical advantage, or who could predict enemy movements 3 steps ahead, because we've seen the same patterns in 10,000 different conflicts across our own history." The captain stood, and Zeftal could see the weight she carried, not just of command, but of species-wide guilt for being so devastatingly effective at something they wished they'd never needed to learn. But we are, she continued. And when innocents are threatened, when peaceful worlds are attacked, when predators like the Karthek think they can spread terror across the galaxy unchecked? She paused, looking directly at Zeftal. Well, that's when the prey animals of the galaxy remember why it's useful to have apex predators as allies. The transmission ended, leaving Zeftal staring at empty space where the human captain had been. Around him, his bridge crew worked in subdued silence, processing what they had witnessed. Humans had arrived in the galaxy as explorers and diplomats offering trade and friendship. They had been underestimated, dismissed as a young species with little to offer the established galactic community. Today, that assessment had been proven catastrophically wrong. They had never asked for battle. But across 5 millennia of constant warfare on a world that bred killers, they had perfected it in ways that no other species could match. They had made an art of survival, a science of strategy, and a philosophy of protecting those who couldn't protect themselves. As the determination disappeared into hyperspace, carrying news of the Karthek defeat to other threatened systems, Zeftal made a mental note to recommend immediate approval of humanity's application for full hegemony membership. The galaxy, he realized, was about to become a much safer place for prey animals, and a much more dangerous one for predators.